Hi, it's the Bacon Butty. I'm Josh Sexton, joined in Brasco Lounge in Liverpool City Centre today by Jake Nolan, basking in the glory of this win against Chelsea yesterday. And it wasn't one of those like big, glorious like, oh, we've not gone and done what we did to Chelsea there last season. It was just a proper consummate team performance, I think, Jake, and it wasn't like it's not going to be one of those wins where you look back at the end of the season and you're like, that's one of our best performances of the season or anything like that by any stretch. But as the first sort of, the really big result in the slot era goes, I think it had all the hallmarks of that, and you definitely felt it by the final whistle, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it felt fairly routine. I don't think, I said before, I don't think Chelsea were in it for like longer than 5-10 minutes of the game, which shows how good we were. And to be honest with you, that's no slight on them, because they're better than I thought they were going to be for large periods of that game.
They're the fourth best team in the country, therefore.
Yeah, I think so. And the manager feels like a Chelsea manager. Like he feels like somebody who we all hate.
Yeah,
and
horrible.
And for a long time, they kind of had nice managers, which is just not right with Chelsea. They should always be villains, I think. You know what I mean? And he feels very, very much on a villain. But yeah, I can't really praise them enough. Even though it potentially a bit mundane, a bit routine, the control that we have in these football games now. Somebody's been involved in footy at a lot lower level, but that's something to be complimented. Control those games at that level is brilliant, and there's some individual standouts, but as a team, it's a very well-oiled machine, and we look really difficult to beat, particularly our own.
Yeah, and you're an adaptable fella. You do the 11 aside, you do the 5 aside, you got your 7 asides. Yeah. I think the manager's showing his sort of level of adaptability as well now, isn't he? Because you mentioned that sort of like control and composure, and I think we were probably all like doing our own heads in the summer, trying to guess what he was going to do and what it was going to look like. And I think I almost like allowed myself to fall into the trap of like, it's going to be like quite beautiful football. It's all going to feel like it's really midfield based and loads of playmakers and all this sort of like not swashbuckling, but just like really like put together, like almost tiki taka kind of blend of football. But I think you can trick yourself. That's not got a bit of grit and determination to it as well, and ability to grind out results. And I think you've seen now from the past couple of results where Liverpool haven't performed spectacularly by any stretch of the imagination, but everybody's looked after each other, everybody's dug in when they need to dig in, everybody's bailed each other out when there needs to be a moment where they bail each other out. And it's so many big results in a row now. Like you're looking at the sort of wins and losses yesterday, and it'll be ruined that Nottingham Forest one, because it's still the lone sort of block mark on the copybook.
Yeah. Well, I think we've still got that sort of bit of Jürgen's team, because it's largely the same team. It's all the same team effectively, isn't it? We still got the good things from that, but I think he's just fine-tuned a few things, which you can't give him enough compliments on that, because to have the stones on him to come into that dressing room and say, do you know what, lads, it's been great what you're doing, but I want you to do a bit more of this. I bet you he was turning a few heads, but it looks like they've all completely bought into it. And I'm very much about the here and now, and while the future looks great and he's here for the next, I don't know how long, hopefully many years to come, we've got stuff to do this season, I think, with the players that we've got at the moment, who knows how long they're going to be here for, some of them. So, nothing ever lasts forever, but we can have a good go now, and we should be going on all fronts.
Yeah, and speaking of lads who may well not be here forever, but the sort of here and now of Mo Salah it's just like increasingly impressive, isn't it? And I wrote in my match review for the Anfield Wrap yesterday that we're watching someone who's on a genuinely like Lionel Messi trajectory here, where he's gone from being that sort of, they're almost very similar players to an extent. I'd argue Salah and Messi, albeit Messi is the best of the best for me. Yeah. But that's like, there used to be like the sort of tricky inside forward, coming off the right hand side onto the left foot, beat a man, get to the byline, go wherever they want and knock a shot into the top corner. I think Salah's still got a little bit of that to his game, but it's just like all gravity now. Like he's pulling out defenders out of the area. He's making passes from deep. A couple of those passes he made yesterday. I mean, the one for Jones's goal, it's just absolutely unreal. Exactly, yeah. It is vision, and I think the playmaking side of his game is probably like still going a little bit underrated.
Definitely, I think so. I mean, I think when we all think of Salah, most of us will still have pictures of it in our head of him like running down the wing and burning somebody, or cutting inside and bending one in the top corner, which he's definitely still got in his locker, but his game's adapted, and I think the things that we've seen over the past couple of years him getting better at is, one, he feels like a leader, and I don't think that was always the case. It was he was at times he was sort of labelled as being all about him and a bit selfish.
YouTube Press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.